Good morning, everyone. This is Claudia with Work Truck Solutions. I am the marketing coordinator over here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know that usually we do these on Wednesdays, so I appreciate you coming in kind of towards the end of the week. I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I actually just got back from the second annual West Coast Ultimate Boot Camp that we had out in Roseville, California with our partners, Commercial Truck Training. Ken Taylor and Will Brogan did an excellent job. I think everyone who was there could definitely recommend to you checking them out. So if you're ever curious or really want to jumpstart or even just adjust your training methods or your sales methods in your commercial department, I highly recommend checking them out. They have boot camps throughout the year. So make sure you visit their website, commercialtrucktraining.com. I see folks are still coming in right now. I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to get settled, but while I do that, I'm just going to go over a couple of items. So first, as many of you are familiar with who have been on these webinars before, there is a question box. You can type questions or comments in there at any time. If you ever have any hard times hearing me, please let me know. Sometimes it can get a little iffy because this is all web-based, so we never know how that's going to translate over. So if there's ever a moment where I cut out or you can't hear me or see the screen, please, please, please let me know because I can't see what you guys are seeing. So thank you so much in advance for doing that for me. The agenda today, so I just went over a couple housekeeping items. The webinar itself, we're going to go over how to be your own marketer. Um, a few items we're going to cover are why you should be marketing your dealership, how to be your own marketer, and a few final thoughts and best practices. Then we'll go into a question and answer session. We should have about 15 or 20 minutes to do that so we can get all of your guys' questions answered. And then we'll have some closing statements and reminders for you guys. So again, thank you all so much for those of you just joining in. Thank you for being here today. Um, we'll get started in just a moment. I still see some folks coming in, so I'll hang off for just a minute. It's fantastic to see some familiar names. John, Cody, so great. AJ, it's good to see you. Awesome. Yeah, and if you didn't notice, I'm actually taking this one solo today, so that's exciting. Um, all of my folks were all too busy for me, but I was able to still pull through. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with a poll question. Oh, actually, you know what? It looks like it did not show up. So let me go ahead and do something really fast. I'm so sorry, you guys. One second. All right, we should have it now. All righty. So you're going to see a question come up on your screen. Go ahead and take a second to answer that. So, does your dealership allocate marketing dollars to your commercial department? Looks like almost half of, a little over half of you have answered. I'll leave it open for just a couple more seconds. Wow, we got some good participation here. Let's see, can we hit 100%? All right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Oh, all right. The stragglers, go ahead and answer really quick. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the poll now. Wow, all right. I'm going to go ahead and share the results with you guys. So that's awesome. So it looks like the majority of you do get marketing dollars allocated to your dealership or to your commercial department. That's really good news. I know that we did something similar last year, and the majority of you guys actually said no, you don't get any. So those of you guys who aren't getting any, today's going to be great because we're going to go over some of the points that you can do and some activities you can do to get your brand out there and get your dealership marketed on your own. So to get started, why you should be marketing your dealership. So I don't think it's any secret. I'm sure you guys all know that business to business is all about building relationships. And we are in a very unique industry where relationships are so big. Although there is competition amongst different dealerships, different OEMs, I think it's safe to say that when we all come together, it is incredible to share your ideas and learn from one another. And for the most part, from what I have experienced, a lot of people are open to doing that, especially folks who have been around the industry for a while. And something else to keep in mind is commercial has an incredible value of the average lifetime of your customers. Retail comes in at something like $12,000 total for your dealership, and that's good, especially when you're just valuing one customer. But one customer for commercial, the lifetime value is actually over $500,000 for your dealership. That is so huge. And overall marketing, there's actually two different components when it comes to business. One of those, of course, is generating leads and creating that brand awareness to drive more folks to your dealership. And then the other one is customer retention. Again, we're in that relationship building and maintaining industry. And so that's something that we also need to keep in mind when we're marketing. So we'll touch a little bit more on those later on. So let's just dive right on into it. How to be your own marketer. Like I just said, there's going to be two main targets. You're going to focus on your current and past customers to maintain those relationships, capture future sales, and send those folks over to your service department to generate revenues there. And then you also have your prospective customers. That's where you're going to be trying to generate leads. You want to make sure that you're optimizing the experience of them finding you, searching for a vehicle, and even purchasing that vehicle. And of course, this goes across the board, even with past and current customers, but it's extremely important to captivate those prospects coming in. And then, of course, you want to create brand awareness. How are they even going to know that you're in the business of commercial if they don't know that you exist? And then perceived value. So this is so big. What sets you apart? Not only your dealership, but you as a salesperson. Why do they want to come to you with their business to do business? So marketing to current and past customers. The relationship is already established. You know something about them, and this is where it is so important to really get to know your customers. And I see some questions coming in. Oh, thank you so much, you guys. I am going to, whoops, hide results. Um, 1 second. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, can you see my screen now, everyone? There we go. Thank you so much for letting me know. You guys are awesome. I'm so sorry about that. You didn't really miss anything on the last one, but I can go back just in case. There's just some points. And just so you guys know, this is being recorded today, so I will be sending you guys the recording in a follow-up email tomorrow. So let me just get right back into this. So your relationship is already established. You know things about this customer, these customers overall. You know exactly what vocations they're a part of. Maybe they all drive red trucks, so you're going to have to make sure that when they come in for an order, that you're ordering those red trucks. You know what their business goals are. Are they a small mom and pop business, or are they a bigger commercial business that requires 10 to 15 fleet vehicles on the road at any given time? And maybe you even know about their personal life. Maybe you've been to a golf tournament with them where you guys got to hang out and get to know each other better. Or maybe you guys hosted a customer appreciation event where they brought their whole entire family and you found out that all of their kids play Little League Baseball. All of those things are so important and key in maintaining these relationships. And I'll go into a little bit why. You have the opportunity to customize your marketing messages to them. And this is why a CRM, a good CRM, is so critical. You need to be tracking those customers. You got to take really good notes. Note all of those things. Note that little Timmy is number 8 and his favorite baseball player is Joe Schmo on whatever local team you guys might have. Because guess what? Something that you might do is maybe you know someone on that team. Maybe you can go get him a baseball hat or something, or a signed baseball from them. You never know what kind of connections you can have that can really take that relationship to the next level. And having all of that personalization and customization to your marketing messages is going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to go over a couple of examples that really show, how you guys can take advantage of this. So these are actually a couple of different Facebook posts of how you can engage with your current or past customers. So customer appreciation, you can see on this top one that they actually did an entire congratulations post highlighting one of their customer businesses. Other ways that you can do this is send them a thank you email or even a handwritten thank you note after they purchase a vehicle from you. You can host events at your dealership or even have fun out of dealership events like a golf tournament or maybe even like a bowling day. Something that not only highlights your community but also brings folks together, because then that also creates an opportunity for you to network with others. Maybe they bring more people from their business to your event. And then, like I said, showing you in this photo on the top left, a business highlight. That is so big. But you also want to be able to give them continual education. So something that is going to be so big for this are walk around videos and other product knowledge, because you want to be helping your customers. You don't just want to be posting vehicles that are for sale on your marketing channels, whether that be on social media or by email. Yes, it's something great to do, but you don't want to be doing that all of the time. You want to focus on it in terms of value. So in this video in the bottom left-hand corner, I didn't actually capture the video, just a quick screenshot. He actually goes through and shows exactly how the hoist works, talks about the payload and the capacities that are there, and explains how this could really affect different businesses and how and the use case scenarios. So if you guys ever get an opportunity, go check out both of these pages, their Facebook pages, because they do a really, really great job. So now let's dive into marketing to prospects. It's I wouldn't say that marketing to for retention to current and past customers is easier. I would just say it's a little bit more fun because you get to get creative, you get to get personal, and you get to kind of add that emotional touch. When it comes to marketing to prospective customers, it can be a little bit more challenging. You need to make an impact on this customer because they might be giving you a lifetime worth of revenue for your dealership. You need to understand who you are targeting. You have to remember that business to business is very different than business to consumer. And although these guys might end up being consumers in the end, maybe their wife comes by and buys, a sedan from you guys or an SUV, that's not going to count as a commercial purchase, but you're going to get that extra additional business from these folks if you do a good job the first time around. And you have to remember, value is key. How are you going to help them resolve an issue that they might be having? Um, are they in HVAC or plumbing? And do they have a van that might not have the right upfit package inside of it to keep their tools organized? Is it taking them way too long to find what they need to serve their customer in a timely manner? Those are challenges that you can address to make their business better. And you have to always remember to give before you ask. So as you can see over here on the left-hand side, this is something that is actually promoting brand awareness. Look at this beautiful lot of all of these vehicles lined up. So, this is something that's really important because a lot of times commercial dealers don't get to have front row, frontline service to showcase their vehicles. Most of those are just taken up by the retail folks. So showing that you guys are in the commercial business is going to be so huge. You can do this through mailers. You can do this through social media, such as this post over here Sutton Ford is doing. You can do this through email. And you can show up at different events and actually let folks know, hey, I do this. How can I help your business grow and be better? So right there, you're showing you have a variety of vehicles. You're providing one solution to challenges, which is finding the right vehicle. And you're showcasing your inventory. As you can see over here on the right-hand side, this dealership is actually hosting a movie in the park What a fun community and family event that anyone can go to and enjoy. Not only is this an opportunity to um, kind of put your dealership on the backside and meet the folks that are around you and that you might not have ever reached out to before, but you're going to get to know them and you're going to start making that impact and building that relationship that is so important. And you're doing so in an area that is so stress-free that you don't need to be in sales mode the whole time. One thing that, Ken Taylor always stresses about, and this is just top of mind for me because I was just at the boot camp, is to ask questions. And you can do so without coming off as a hyper salesperson. And most of you guys in this industry, especially those of you who have been around for some time, um, will probably agree with me that this is not an industry where you need to be a pushy salesperson. This is an industry where you need to have a large understanding and have a drive for learning more. Let's keep going forward. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up with some final thoughts and best practices. For you guys to be able to do this, I highly recommend having your own commercial and fleet page, especially on Facebook. Facebook is a huge opportunity for you guys to reach folks that you might not otherwise reach in your area. There is great opportunity for low cost advertising where you can actually hyper target specific vocations to, again, provide that value, provide a resolution to a problem they may have in their business. And make sure that you check with your dealership before you go ahead and just represent them. Um, the nice part is the branding's already done for you, so all you have to do is just make sure that you're representing them in a great way. Also, if you have a LinkedIn, which if you don't, I highly recommend having because that is your number one resource for personal marketing. You get to reach out to hundreds of thousands of people who are there to network with you and to learn how they can better their business. If you create a LinkedIn page, again, make sure that it's okay with your dealership to be posting information on their behalf. You don't want to, have any items overlapping or share information that might otherwise be exclusive to your dealership for the time being. So make sure that you check with them and work with your marketing department because you know what? They're going to have a lot of insight for you and they'll probably help you and give you even more ideas than you might have already had. Make sure that you create a calendar for all of your different campaigns. If you're going to send out some emails, have that on a calendar and make sure that you're not going to send too many emails out in 1 week or 1 month to the same group of people. Same thing with social media. You don't want to overpost or underpost. So make sure that you're writing out all of the different things that you're posting and make sure that you have a variety of information that you're posting. I just showed you 4 different examples of things that you guys can be using. Um, and again, if you want to do some targeted ads, have a variety there as well. Don't just go out and spam the whole world of Facebook when you run an ad. Have it be very targeted, even if it's only reaching 1,000 to 2,000 people. Maybe that's your goal is to get, 300 people to go visit your website. And that's a very easy thing to do. Make sure that you are responsive. If anyone comments on your things, responds to your emails, make sure that you get back to them. Even if it's something that with a negative comment, apologize to them, make them feel hurt. Maybe don't apologize to them, actually. That was a bad, I'm sorry, I take that back. Make sure that they feel heard. If someone says, I had a horrible experience with you, don't just go back at them and say, oh my gosh, well, that wasn't my fault. That was this person. Don't take the blame. Don't get defensive. Make them feel heard, make them feel understood, and try to resolve that issue. Try to win them back, and don't do so in a pushy manner. Ask them if you could give them a call and talk about it. I guarantee that you will be able to go out to lunch with them, have a fantastic meeting, and may even end up winning their business over in the future. Be creative and have fun. There are so many ways you can do this. During the holidays, showcase all the different things that you're doing. I know that most of you, if not all of you, do some sort of charitable event during the holidays. Make sure that you are showing that because people really care about that. Not only is it relatable, but it touches people's heartstrings and it makes you all at your dealership very humanized. Um, Highlight different folks. Be quirky too. Maybe you have a sales guy who is just so funny and out there. Let him do a funny video that represents your dealership well and that's going to make people laugh. Emotional posts are going to be the best. Sports are coming up. Football's right around the corner. Actually, preseason's already started, so maybe do some contests around that. Just get really creative and be engaging with others and follow others who inspire you. Don't be afraid to follow another dealership just because they might be a competitor. Maybe they do an excellent job at social media marketing and you want to go to them for some ideas. Just because you follow them doesn't mean that you are necessarily doing anything good for their dealership. Um, find out what inspires you, find out what inspires your buyers, and follow that. Always try to put yourself in their shoes and think how they will think. And you know what? Ask them questions, ask them for feedback. What do you guys want to see? For those of you who have been on my webinars before, I always ask you if you have any suggestions, please send them to me. I actually really love them, and there's a few folks on today who will tell you that I have used topics that they've submitted to me before, and it's been fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up to some questions. Uh, Yes, I've had some great feedback here. AJ, you always kill me. Cody, yes, thank them for their patience. Absolutely. Absolutely. If someone has a bad experience, you always thank them for their patience. Always thank them for coming back and giving you that feedback. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free. Type them in that question box over in your control panel. I'll leave it open for a few minutes. I'm actually going to call someone out here who's on the line right now, who I know has done quite a bit of Facebook advertising before. AJ, what can you tell me a little bit about your experience with building up your Facebook group? And I know that you kind of handled a lot of that in the beginning. What was your experience in getting everything started? Because you guys have done a really good job of building up your following on Facebook. While AJ responds to me, I'm going to go ahead and read out this question. Do you have any specific recommendations to help a customer better their business? That is a fantastic question, Chip. It depends on their business. I think that the number one thing that everyone has a challenge with is finding more time. Time is money when you are running a business, right? So any way that you can help them be more efficient. I mentioned earlier about plumbers and HVAC maybe having a van that's super unorganized. Help them get organized. Show them a practical van upfit that will help them. Maybe you have some utility vans on your lot that are upfit to, fit all of those different tools and materials that have drawers for specific things. Or maybe you just have a bunch of cargo vans that you actually have upfit packages for. You can show them how those work. I know that recently Napide and Sortimo have had a partnership and they just came out with a few new items where you can actually remove some of these toolboxes and just wheel them right off of the cargo van, right onto the job site so that people aren't going back and forth. I think that is so big to help those kinds of vocations. And this is going to go across the board. You just kind of have to figure out where are those inefficiencies, where are those challenges for specific vocations, and don't be afraid to ask your customers, where do you see your time being the most wasted, or where would you like to improve how would you like to improve your business? Dale, great question. Describe a good way to prospect on LinkedIn. So my first suggestion would be to do your research about a few different companies in your area, or maybe just do some research on one specific vocation in your area. Maybe you live in a place where agriculture is really big. Look up some different companies and then look them up on LinkedIn. send them a message and just say, hey, I would love to connect with you, or just connect with them. LinkedIn is a great place because everyone who is on it is open to connecting. Chances are, if you connect with them, they're going to want to know why you connected with them. You can then send them a message, start talking with them. And you know what? Now they're person to person with you. They're familiar with your name. If you were to send them an email, give them a call, or even stop by their business to drop in and say hello and learn more about them, they're already going to have that familiarity with you, which is going to be excellent. So AJ got back to me. I'm going to go ahead and read out what he said. So I asked him, how did he really get started and what was his experience in getting started with his Facebook page, because he has a really big following and does a really great job. And what he said is, you've just got to make sure to manage it and follow up. It's very easy to spend the money, but if you don't track and follow up on the people reaching out, then it's not really going to do anything but hurt you for the current campaign. It's going to hinder your ability to get more marketing money for the future ideas and your projects from your GM and your dealership overall. And he says to start small, have measurable goals and pointed projects rather than trying to slay the earth with your social media advertising. And I think that that is really great advice, AJ, and I completely agree. You want to start small and build up that. You're not going to know exactly how your area or your market is going to respond on different social media platforms. So if you start small, even with $50 or even $100, run one ad against a very targeted audience, and you're going to see how those results are coming in. And then check your website analytics. See how those um, clicks to the website are being affected. Are they staying on your website or are they just leaving? Check out that bounce rate. And if you're not sure how all of that works, I can also help you guys out with that if you just reach out to me. I'm going to go ahead and read some more things that AJ's posting because these are really helpful. An analysis of more than 2,200 American companies found those who attempted to reach leads within an hour were nearly 7 times likelier to have meaningful conversations with decision makers than those who waited even 60 minutes. That's incredible. So, out of 433 companies, there was a test done with only 7% of them responding in the first 5 minutes after some sort of form submission. More than half didn't respond within 5 business days. That is such a huge loss. So if you're going to do this, which all of you are totally capable of, I know it, you're all so smart. It's criminal, AJ says. I agree, it is criminal. Make sure that you're active on it. All of us have smartphones for the most part. Get notifications to your phone so that you can see those comments, those likes coming in. Just keep track of it. Be familiar with it. You don't need to remember everything. Um, Make sure that you are responding. Um, Maybe someone sends you something that doesn't necessarily require a response. Make sure that you at least react to their response. Give it a like, give it a laugh if it's something funny. Um, it's really, really critical that you guys spend the time to get back to your customers. And I'm sure you all know that. And I'm probably just beating a dead horse at this point. Does anyone else have any questions? We might be able to wrap up early today, which is great because then I can let you guys get back to what you do best, which is selling more trucks. Leave it open for another minute or so. AJ, thank you so much for all of that insight. I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all so much for being on with me today. I know it was a little bit shorter than normal. Again, this was recorded, so I will go ahead and shoot over an email to you all tomorrow with this recording in it. And if you have any information, if you want more information, if you have any recommendations on subjects or how we can improve these webinars, please don't hesitate to reach out. Just shoot an email to marketing@worktrucksolutions.com. Those go directly to me, so I'll make sure that I get back to you as soon as possible. And again, anything you guys want to contribute, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure if you have a question, others have the same exact question. And like you guys do to your customers, I want to help you solve your problems. So I look forward to hearing from you all. And until next time, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week.